So now I'm going to show you how to crochet your 2 blocks together. Now when you're crocheting the 2 blocks side to side like this, it's going to be different than when we crochet the blocks from the top to the bottom. So when we finish the block 3, I'll be showing you the difference with crocheting that top block to the bottom block. So it's a little bit different when we're crocheting the blocks side to side. So this is block 1, the crab, and this is block 2, the seahorse. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 finished blocks, and then you're going to lay the block 2 on top of block 1. And then we're going to turn our work so that we're crocheting. We're going to use Tunisian crochet to crochet these 2 block edges together. So the first thing that you want to do is see what colors you're going to need. So here you can see that we're going to need brown and we're going to need blue. So you're going to get your brown and your blue colors ready to crochet. Now before we start crocheting, get your tapestry needle, and you'll have a loose yarn end where you finished off on the edge here. Go ahead and take that loose yarn end and put it onto your tapestry needle. And then you're just going to go into the corner. So here is the top stitch of the other block, and when you could see that there's holes in this last row, and that's normal. So we're going to go into that top stitch here, and you want to just tie a knot, and then what that does is it will hold these 2 edges together. So just go in and just tie a knot, and you just really want to hold those 2 ends together as we Tunisian crochet across. And we're going to start on the top right hand corner where the brown yarn is. So you're going to line up those 2 ends, and then we're going to get our Tunisian crochet hook. And also get your yarn ready. I've gotten to where I love this folded cardboard that I have, and I just clip it to the top portion, and then that way I can just unwind off of the back off of my clothespin. So now I'm ready. Take my Tunisian crochet hook, and I'm going to go into that first stitch. So you want to go into the first stitch of the top block, and then go right into the top stitch, of that other block. I'm trying to get into there. There we go. Because you're going to have 2 stitches with the brown. So here's the first stitch. And you're going to just bring up a loop. And then make sure that you tie a knot after you bring up the brown loop. And then now you have 1 loop of the brown, and you're going to go into the next stitch. So try to go under 2 loops of the 1 block, and then grab the bottom stitch of the next block with the brown and bring up another loop. So now I have 2 of the brown colors for joining the bottom brown. Now I'm going to do the rest in blue. So the rest has the blue color. So now I'm going to go into the next stitch. Now make sure that you don't grab just 1 loop. And the reason why I say that is because it may show a gap, and we don't want a gap between the 2 blocks. So make sure that you go under at least 2 loops on the 1 block, and then go under the stitch of the other block, so at least 2 loops on the other block. So you can see how I did that here. Give you different angles. Then you're going to take and grab your blue colored yarn and then just bring up a loop with the blue colored yarn, and then you just want to tie a knot with the previous color. Then you just go across, go under 2 loops in the next stitch, and then go into the next stitch on the opposite block, making sure you grab at least 2 loops, bring up a loop, and you're going to repeat this all the way across, just going into each stitch on each block and bringing up a loop until you reach the end, and then come back. So now you can see that I have it lined up perfectly, and I have all of my loops on my Tunisian crochet hook. Then you're ready to go back across. So you just work it the same way that you always do for each row. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and then go through 1 loop only for the first one. Then you yarn over and then go through 2 loops at a time. And then you're going to color change when you get down here the same way that you always color change. So I'm just going to work this with you. And as always, make sure that you don't grip with your right hand. You don't want to grip it real tight, just loosely. That way you don't tire out your hand or hurt your hand. And then you just yarn over and go through 2. I love this method because it just works up so fast and makes a very nice, clean, even stitch for combining these 2 blocks. So on future blocks I'll show you more color changes and how to work the color changes. I'm making this one a little bit easier because it's geared towards a beginner who's wanting to learn how to use this method. So once you know how to use this method for the easier one, then the more difficult one you'll understand a little bit better. But even the more difficult one is easy too. You just have to color change, and you've already done the difficult color changes with the main block. So it's pretty much the same method when you're combining the blocks as well. So now I'm almost to the color change, 2 at a time until the color change. So now I know I have a blue and a brown, drop the blue, pick up my brown, make sure you grab the right brown attached to your clothespin, yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. Then you just finish off. When you're finished, you just yarn over and just pull enough yarn through just for a loose yarn end. And then just cinch that knot down, and then you're finished combining the 2 blocks. Then you can see how it creates a nice stitch between. I just love how it looks. So now I have the 2 blocks together. It looks good. On the back, don't forget to cut your blue yarn too, and then tie a knot on the back with the blue colored yarn.